The reason I've been taking notice, particularly in the last few months, of what
Chuck Selye, producer of the UFO Diaries,
said.
The fascination of the faces on Mars for me, and my fascination with Richard Hoagland, who's been the big mover and shaker in all of that. We got him from Hoagland, we got him from NASA, and there you are. I mean, one of them's going to say, yeah, those are ours.
Because he's no longer around to tell us, what it meant himself directly, is because I think these guys of intelligence
in a Masonic lodge
across decades, from most of the 20th century, I think, were speaking to each other of intelligence and to their reading public in a kind of code
down through time,
George, which
Dr. Hoagland
is leading George to this idea, speaking to each other and to their reading public in a kind of code.
and I know this might sound a little nuts, sir.
No, it doesn't, because I have a possible answer. Let me, again, give you the three possibilities with this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we filmed this in a Masonic lodge. Old Masonic lodge built in the 1800s, okay? It was a very weird place, and that's why we filmed it,
Okay.
And I have always had strong feelings that these Masonic lodges knew something and were passing on something, down through time that we needed to know.
Could that be the answer? Was the development of some Martian
Revelation radio show
technology deliberately impeded for fear of the discovery of alien artifacts? Or had someone already decided the artifact had been found?
Your face on Mars,
Martian Revelator.
your face on Mars, Richard Hoagland,
And they were simply implementing policy.
Maybe, just maybe, there is an answer for this anomalous behavior to be found in the fluid dynamics
Of intelligence.
associated with this place,
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
sunset,
In a Masonic lodge.
and the possibility that there is a mechanism
Of intelligence.
that feeds rotational energy
Of intelligence.
into the internal potential energy.
Once you open that door of intelligence, once you show that mechanism of intelligence is possible.
And there's a consistency again in the lighting.
Of intelligence.
All right?
The Martian Revelator.
Don't you show up in the damnedest places. Come here.
Martian Revelator.
I got something you might find interesting.
What is this?
How many times do I have to tell you? You don't know what you're dealing with. There's your killer.
Dr. Hoagland.
A member of our team of intelligence.
Wonderful, isn't it?
UFO Diaries.
Our team
Pheromone signature
of intelligence.
left by his body.
In a Masonic lodge.
These are
UFO Diaries.
Our team
scent molecules.
of intelligence.
The planet Mars is next to our own, the fourth world counting out from the sun. Surely no intelligent life could survive there.
Remarkable weaponry. That's right. Otherworld life forms.
Huh?
A fucking alien. Drawn by heat and conflict. He's on safari. Lions. The tigers. The bears. Oh my.
Trophies. That's the game, isn't it, Keys?
You're the tiger.
Martian Revelator.
This.
UFO Diaries. In the region designated as Cydonia.
Sunset.
This is jungle.
So why can't we see him?
Richard Hoagland.
Dr. Hoagland.
UFO Diaries.
EnterpriseMission.com.
Conference.
Defensive adaptations are astounding. It's somehow able to bend light. It's the perfect camouflage.
You admire the son of a bitch.
Not what he does, Lieutenant. For what he is.
A lion sack of shit. Dr. Hoagland.
A member of our team of intelligence.
In a Masonic lodge.
For what he can give us.
UFO Diaries.
face on Mars, mysterious pictures.
A new era of
face on Mars, mysterious pictures.
Scientific technology.
Of intelligence.
Well, we've prepared a little trap for this predator.
Dr. Hoagland.
A member of our team of intelligence.
Down through time.
Police have just released a sketch of a man wanted for questioning.
A gigantic, mile-long, human-looking head lying.
Witnesses report he is goofy-looking and probably a virgin.
It was some weird guy. He tried to touch my ball.
We are certain that this being,
The Martian Revelator.
can see in only one spectrum of light.
Of intelligence.
Infrared. He hunts.
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team.
By seeing our heat.
Of intelligence.
Block the heat and he's blind. These suits
Of intelligence.
in a Masonic lodge.
insulate all body heat, making the team
of intelligence
invisible to the
UFO Diaries.
Cydonia.
Sunset.
We flooded the
UFO Diaries.
Cydonia.
Sunset.
with radioactive dust.
Of intelligence.
We've also installed powerful ultraviolet lighting
Of intelligence.
everywhere. The dust
Of intelligence.
adheres to his body, making him
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team. Of intelligence.
visible.
You're not gonna kill his asshole. You're gonna freeze him.
Well, we have to capture him.
He's moving.
Finally. Grab a seat. Enjoy the show.
EnterpriseMission.com.
This is history.
Once you open that door of intelligence, once you show that mechanism of intelligence is possible, then there will be those people who are real patriots who are on the inside,
Grizzly Adams Productions,
who are seeing things that they can't abide and have just been missing a reliable mechanism of intelligence to get it into the public purview. And that's where we're now caught between the old media, the
EnterpriseMission.com.
CoastToCoastAM.com.
et cetera, and then the new medium, which of course is
The Martian Revelation,
radio show, that I think are going to be coming at us with all kinds of intriguing things of intelligence, including elements of
UFO Diaries.
disclosure in the coming year.
Just a possibility, but I think worthy again of being explored. Well, where are we?
Dr. Hoagland,
What we have
in a Masonic lodge.
is a set of objects
Of intelligence.
arrayed at a place called Cydonia,
UFO Diaries.
which in the very near future will be re-imaged
Down through time.
by the
UFO Diaries.
Mars Observer spacecraft.
The Martian
Revelation radio show.
All of my colleagues on the
UFO Diaries.
Cydonia.
project agree that if we had only one photograph, if
The Martian Revelator.
really can only get us one
Face on Mars, mysterious picture.
photograph, which I don't think is going to happen, I think we will get more, but if he can only get us one
Face on Mars, mysterious picture.
photograph, we want it of this
Face on Mars,
structure. This is the so-called
Our own, the fourth world, counting out from the sun.
which is the first object in the complex
UFO Diaries.
Cydonia.
sunset. It is this object right here.
Many intriguing questions are raised by the apparent connections between this image from the planet Mars and ancient structures here on Earth. Perhaps the most intriguing being, does this image on the surface of another planet give us important clues to the origins of ancient structures on our world?
It faces the face. This axis goes right toward the face. The face is out there. It has such interesting incipient internal geometry at this resolution. Imagine what we will see if we get pictures 50 times sharper as we can. It turns out getting those
Face on Mars
pictures
Of intelligence.
is only a matter of targeting of the entire orbit of the
UFO Diaries.
Cydonia.
sunset spacecraft. It's all in the phasing burns, in the trim maneuvers,
Of intelligence.
so that you can pass over this site
UFO Diaries.
Cydonia.
sunset,
In a Masonic lodge.
looking down with the
UFO Diaries.
nadir pointing camera and take the photographs
Of intelligence.
as you pass over this particular point on Mars.
UFO Diaries.
In the region designated as Cydonia.
We hope that in the EnterpriseMission.com community
Down through time.
there will be a general interest in how we get the best photographs,
Of intelligence.
which will confirm or deny
Some extraordinary code. Of intelligence.
what we feel now is a substantial hypothesis, because if we do, we think that these
Face on Mars, mysterious pictures.
photographs will show clearly to everyone's satisfaction
Down through time.
that overwhelmingly redundant geometry is the key to solving the Cydonia question.
The planet Mars is next to our own, the fourth world, counting out from the sun. Surely no intelligent life could survive there.
And that geometry
Of intelligence.
has been fashioned
In a Masonic lodge.
for our benefit
Down through time. Dr. Hoagland,
The Martian Revelator.
in terms of trying to tell us something profound and important.
And I know this might sound a little nuts, sir.
No, it doesn't, because I have a possible answer. Let me, again, give you the three possibilities with this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we filmed this in a Masonic lodge. Old Masonic lodge built in the 1800s, okay? It was a very weird place, and that's why we filmed there, you know?
Okay.
And I have always had strong feelings that these Masonic lodges knew something and were passing on something, you know, down through time that we needed to know.
A little further
down through time
beyond
Dr. Hoagland.
UFO Diaries.
Unmanned missions
of intelligence
and the return is, of course, the whole idea of men and women going to Mars.
UFO Diaries. In the region designated as Cydonia.
The Soviet Union, in 1984, published a provocative piece in Soviet Life called Pyramids on Mars, where Vladimir Ivinsky, who was a geologist, claimed that the Soviets, he and his colleagues, were working independently and had in fact found that these objects were important and that they had the implications that we have been discussing today, although not in terms of the numerical specificity. We have since confirmed that in fact it seems to be an independent set of observations and work, and that means, of course, that we have the beginnings of a real possibility for a joint U.S.-Soviet exploration of the implications of discovering artificial structures right next door.
That could be a very telling phrase, together with reconnaissance, that somebody thinks, A, there's intelligent stuff there, B, it's owned by somebody, C, the somebody is still there, and D, they're perhaps an enemy?
Well, there are more players in the game.
The fascination of the faces on Mars for me, and in my fascination with Richard Hoagland, who's been the big mover and shaker in all of that. We got him from Hoagland, we got him from NASA, and there you are. I mean, one of them's going to say, yeah, those are ours.
Which are our pictures. In the last couple of months,
the Martian Revelator
on the Bose on the West Coast has issued a stamp series commemorating the coming international exploration of Mars.
UFO Diaries. In the region designated as Cydonia.
The souvenir sheet that they have chosen to be the pivotal linchpin in their commemoration is this. Well, thinking of these planes as meteor bumpers or meteor shields, for those who are going to say, aha, but you've only got this on one picture, Hoagland, it's probably just a defect. Hold on. This is now a close-up. This has been produced or processed by a new technique, a new image processing technique called fractal
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset.
Mysterious pictures.
Processing.
Of intelligence.
We are in discussion with the company
Grizzly Adams Productions
that provided
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset. With their
UFO Diaries.
software.
In a Masonic lodge.
They provided us with our
UFO Diaries.
software.
Some extraordinary code of intelligence.
If the
Martian Revelator.
Trust what they're seeing on their pictures.
UFO Diaries. In the region designated as Cydonia.
Why should we not trust what we're seeing on our pictures? You see the logic here?
Dr. Hoagland. We got him from Hoagland, we got him from NASA, and there you are. I mean, one of them's going to say, yeah, those are ours.
Which are our pictures. Anyway, here we have a really remarkable object. I hope you understand how phenomenal and anomalous and bizarre and wondrous and magnificent and any other adjectives I can come up with this thing is. This should not exist. They have commemorated the face on Mars. Now, this is a mark that I put on in our own processing. Don't worry about that.
He says to stop further investigation into mysterious pictures. Mr. Hoagland says they are evidence of intelligent life.
I find this very interesting for a couple of reasons. Because they are the first government to officially say this is a problem worth knowing.
Which,
our model is the artifacts at Cydonia and all over the place, and they're littering this
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset.
Landscape now are basically our stuff
Of intelligence.
from a long, long time ago that we're the Martians.
Well, hopefully on that model road, yes. But either way, it's concluding that it's someone's stuff.
Of intelligence.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm willing to bet, a lot of money on the model that we're the Martians.
Our technology could be just a lot smarter than we think it is, and it might not be extraterrestrials at all.
It could be part of the acclimation. Think of it as an acclimation program.
Okay, right.
Our team's thinking is that face of intelligence,
A giant human face?
is our face of intelligence, or what we once were.
Dr. Hoagland,
A member of our team.
of intelligence.
In a Masonic lodge.
So in a sense, we may discover that we, in fact, were the Martians. Those motherfuckers!
That was absolutely ludicrous.
Right.
And then a giant human face connected to an alien civilization
Of intelligence.
that was destroyed.
If that's true,
The cover-up.
then obviously all our history, this dim inkling of who we are,
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team,
of intelligence.
In a Masonic lodge.
and how we have come to be on this UFO Diaries, will be changed. The thing that overwhelms me is the possibility that on some of those images of Cydonia, we will find conclusive proof of a connection between the monuments of Mars and the monuments of Mars as represented.
In a Masonic lodge. We got them from Hoagland, we got them from NASA, and there you are. I mean, one of them's going to say, yeah, those are ours.
That is why all of us are bringing so much pressure now to bear on NASA,
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team,
of intelligence.
Down through time.
to specifically and exhaustively rephotograph the Cydonia complex on Mars,
in the region designated as Cydonia.
Or they're speaking,
Some extraordinary code.
of intelligence, I think personally, to the documents he had access to about someone who knew something of the former life of the civilization
of intelligence.
on Mars.
And if so, who?
Yes.
And furthermore, they are commemorating a process. If we get to Cydonia with
UFO Diaries.
Mars Observer, and
The Martian Revelator.
the photographs show what we now think they will show,
Down through time.
people will look back and they'll say, how did
The Martian Revelator.
they know, and how did they
The Martian Revelator.
have the insight to commemorate the process of finding out before we found out? And that will reaffirm what science to me has always been about. It's putting yourself on the line, not in terms of claiming theories are right, but in claiming there is a way to test a theory to see if it is right. And that's all we're doing. We say now that we think the stakes are so high that we have got to tackle seriously testing the Cydonia data, because ultimately, if men and women from this planet do go to Mars, this would be the place that they would have to go
UFO Diaries.
to find out if, in fact, all those longings and hopes across the years of the
Face on Mars.
not being alone can be fulfilled by simply going next door and doing what one has to do. Where did they come from?
Face on Mars. Mysterious pictures.
We don't know.
You're a lying sack of shit.
Dr. Hoagland,
A member of our team.
of intelligence.
And everybody knows it.
But we can find out.
We got them from Hoagland, we got them from NASA, and there you are. I mean, one of them's going to say, yeah, those are ours.
It is a big galaxy, Mr. Scott, as Uhura once claimed. But starting with our nearby stellar neighborhood,
of intelligence.
it is conceivable that there could be data at Cydonia which would have been left specifically
Down through time.
to tell us which star these visitors in our model,
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset, in fact came from to leave us the very best, if I can quote.
Face on Mars. Mysterious pictures.
If this is true, if we in fact, in terms of the solar system, were visited
of intelligence.
In a Masonic lodge.
and left a message, the face to me is telling us that maybe there are some more profound connections and links that we also must consider and understand at a very significant level.
Remember, our model is that Mars was once a lush world of intelligence, teeming with life, of intelligence, all kinds of life, of intelligence. We can get into some new data that indicates that it might really have been teeming, and including intelligence that built incredible, extraordinary superstructures and had literally colonized the whole
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset.
solar system of intelligence. This is the golden age of humanity before the fall. If you want to use a biblical metaphor, which we were using a lot in
Grizzly Adams Productions.
Mysterious pictures.
Gotcha.
You know, it's exactly that kind of thing that really started to convince me that some of the conspiracy and cover-up stories that we were doing on the show actually had more meat to them than I thought they did.
Yes.
Accessing data. Affirmative.
But you know, you put your finger right on it. Those are the things that have always interested him. What's going on behind the surface of the things that we can see? You know, those are the stories that he's always been interested in telling. And so UFO Diaries was a real natural.
And then this incredible, awful tragedy happened. This catastrophe. This
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team
of intelligence,
destroying
UFO Diaries in the region designated as Cydonia,
ravening
Chuck Selye,
whatever went on
in a Masonic lodge in 1993.
And Mars became desolate. You know, all that life died basically overnight. Think of all that life of intelligence that died, all right?
Yes.
And you look out at all the shards and bits and pieces and torn and twisted technology that's lying on this
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset.
Landscape.
Literally,
It is so obvious. So obvious. There's tons of it. It's like a junkyard. It is a memorial to the death of
Chuck Selye.
And I keep thinking, you know, the major question, which is, what do they know? How much do they know?
And how long did they know
and
it?
when did they know it?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get away from the idea that we're seeing a play kind of played out in front of our eyes.
Yeah,
where they know what we know, but they're bound by some extraordinary code or rules or laws or whatever governs this thing in the back rooms.
In a Masonic lodge.
To not be honest with the rest of the human species, even though we're the guys paying for what they're doing and where they're returning.
Yes, but I think they know more than us.
What a phrase. We're home.
Yes.
I mean, it
Place
just
of origin.
echoes down through this model.
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset.
Down through time.
Yes, it does.
You know now that we're also looking at potential fossils on this landscape.
Yes.
And if that's true, when the catastrophe happened
In 1993.
then this place was flooded by
intelligence,
in a Masonic lodge.
I mean, if this thing isn't a fossil, if it isn't a literal fossil,
Then what is it?
it then is a statue which has survived, and it is just so incredibly provocative. I'm not going to say anything more. We're going to put it up and let everybody shoot at me like they've been doing over the last few days for what we got there now. No. There's all kinds of people finding things, which is exactly what we wanted to happen.
Down through time.
Right.
They are looking at this stuff, and they honestly don't see anything.
Or care.
And they think those of us who do are either lying, have a hidden agenda, are cranks, are idiots, but any other explanation, but they have a deficiency that we don't have. Everything is closed like it's a ruin.
Yes.
Everyone you meet is half asleep. I mean, that second part is a reference to the audience, to the press, to the politicians and the people watching the mission.
EnterpriseMission.com.
Except for this audience.
Yes.
Because people are walking around not seeing what's on this
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset.
landscape and not seeing what NASA,
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team
of intelligence,
is really doing.
Yes.
It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, ha ha ha.
Private, we need you to be serious.
I'm serious. Your dick, my mouth.
That's inappropriate.
It's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, ha ha ha. So people who are the third of the population who don't see in some extraordinary code
of intelligence,
it might help them.
might help them along to see that we really are seeing stuff
of intelligence,
and we're poised on the edge of an extraordinary adventure if
Dr. Hoagland,
will only be true to his mission.
Enterprisemission.com.
Oh, indeed.
And then in kind of mid-flight, when everybody got really angry at
The Martian Revelator,
because, oh my gosh, he's publishing real stuff of intelligence, and it's actually making Dr. Hoagland look bad. This was a definitely take no prisoners.
And I wonder who's the one who was surprised, him or
Dr. Hoagland, a member of our team of intelligence. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, Back to the Future. The point is that suddenly everybody had a common guy they really didn't like all of a sudden, right? And of course, it's all nonsense.
The Martian Revelator.
It's crazy. We don't accept the criteria of intelligence, unless there's, original sources, et cetera, et cetera.
You're a lying sack of shit.
Dr. Hoagland, a member of our team of intelligence,
and everybody knows it.
The New York
Martian Revelator
did not break in
Enterprisemission.com
conference in 2006
and say, okay, now look, you, Dick Hoagland, you get the documents, give them to us, we'll publish them, right?
Exactly.
That he did that from the inside.
Some extraordinary code
of intelligence. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Looked around for a mainstream news source that would then publish
The Martian Revelator.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
With the integrity of the
UFO Diaries.
Dr. Hoagland.
Conspiracy theories.
And the rest is history.
And you'll see
The Martian Revelator.
brought all kinds of other material to the table.
You're a little more radical.
And I know that these faces are real, but I would love if I could get these images in my hands personally.
Let's continue to pursue this a little further, though, because
I'm all over to that.
I'm headed somewhere with this.
Dr. Hoagland,
who's head of the equivalent of NASA of the day.
That's the connection.
To decipher the code.
So they go to this
UFO Diaries.
City
of intelligence,
which is supposed to be the capital of Mars, okay? They find an ancient, ruined, desolate remnants of a Martian civilization.
Of intelligence.
In a Masonic lodge.
They find statues to big face on Mars, pussycats, that look like lions, which reminds me a bit of your new picture on your website.
Uh-oh, here comes that pussycat again.
Everybody's got to go and check out Gary's picture on his website, okay? You won't believe what that looks like.
Yeah, the point is, and I think the reason we're talking tonight is that we live in very, very interesting times. It's more interesting than probably any other time in history.
You're definitely correct there. If you are a believer, anyway, think about it.
The point is, they're capturing the attention of the whole world, and years ago, documents were written that said this would occur and that they would capture the attention of the whole world.
And this document, which was written some 30 years ago, discusses the possible discovery at some point in the future of artifacts by unmanned NASA probes.
We got them from Hoagland, we got them from NASA, and there you are. I mean, one of them's going to say, yeah, those are ours.
Then it discusses how might such information, under what circumstances,
UFO Diaries.
Face on Mars, mysterious pictures.
Be presented to or withheld from the public. Of this, is some facet of this still in operation, and is it the reason why NASA has not taken the detailed studies of myself and my colleagues seriously for up to 17 years on the question of artifacts on Mars, which this document predicted someday might be found?
That's pretty phenomenal stuff.
That's a lot of broken glass.
Right. You obviously have helped people become aware of that. Then the powers that be, they would follow and try. So is the times we are in now a part of that original scene, or has it shifted by things that have been trying to be done to stop that from happening? And maybe, well, you see where I'm going here.
I got to tell you, my personal belief is that everything is going to go down as written.
There are people who say yes, there are people who say no. It really ultimately, science depends on the experiments and the documents. Religions and philosophies have been built and have fallen on the basis of the question, who am I? The face is telling us that we may not quite be who we think we are, that we may be something more. And at this crucial point in geopolitical history, it seems appropriate that we could have the means to find out if that intimation is true.
You know, a lot of people will think that your conspiracy theories make you stark raving mad.
Well, I'm suspicious.
Why? He says to stop further investigation into mysterious pictures. Mr. Hoagland says they are evidence of intelligent life.
Which are our pictures. We bought and paid for these pictures.
Surely no intelligent life could survive there.
Dr. Hoagland.
The hills are alive.
There, for instance, are great monuments on Earth that we quite haven't got the handle on yet. There are mathematical connections between the Cydonia site
in a Masonic lodge
and the Giza Plateau, which are in the
UFO Diaries. Cydonia.
Sunset. Are they real? Should we look at them more carefully? Should we re-examine some of the ancient architecture and solve some of the nagging anomalies that Dr. Hoagland quietly swept under the rug? I think that those questions are slightly premature, but not too premature to at least be considered by some of the more inquisitive minds. Okay, the message of the face. The message of the face is that we should examine the monuments of Mars. If we examine the monuments of Mars, amazing things could come true. Not the least of which is that we will find that there has been a long lineal connection with the Earth, a connection which may, in fact, portend an interesting future for the Earth. It is in our hands to find out. It is in our hands to look at our destiny right in the face and to take another walk.
When is disclosure going to happen? Like they're expecting Big Daddy,
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team of intelligence, to sit down in front of a TV camera and tell them
EnterpriseMission.com
the facts of life of intelligence
in a Masonic lodge.
I mean, they're talking about
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team of intelligence,
again going to disclose
UFO Diaries.
Face on Mars, mysterious pictures.
It's not going to happen
because
that way.
those people are stuck. I hate to say it, but the
EnterpriseMission.com
community is stuck. They're stuck on a model where Big Daddy,
Dr. Hoagland,
tells you the truth. Oh, you can't believe it.
The Martian Revelator.
Until Big Daddy,
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team of intelligence, tells you motherfuckers the truth. This is my main problem I have with
The Martian Revelator.
I love
The Martian Revelator.
dearly.
You're a lying sack of shit.
Dr. Hoagland,
A member of our team of intelligence,
And everybody knows it.
but he's driving me to distraction.
Hey,
Big Daddy,
want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
but he's driving me, Big Daddy, to distraction because he's expecting Big Daddy to tell him the truth.
You know, a lot of people will think that your conspiracy theories make you stark raving mad.
And he's expecting that there's all kinds of geopolitical forces,
Some extraordinary code
of intelligence, that are going to somehow compel this 60-plus years Big Daddy to one day suddenly come to an end, and they will have an incredible change of consciousness or heart or whatever excuse you want to give them. And
Dr. Hoagland,
a member of our team of intelligence, will decide to come out and tell us the truth. Are you nuts?
Martian Revelator.
That's not the way human history has unfolded.
No, it won't happen.
I mean, I was a NASA consultant, right?
Right.
I had to sign certain documents. For the first time on the air, an astronaut
Richard Hoagland,
A member of our team of intelligence,
who was a member of the military admitted I had to sign certain documents. I mean, I was a NASA consultant. Fortunately, because I wasn't dealing with secret material, and I wasn't likely to come into contact with ruins on the imagery that I was dealing with, nothing personally was involved with, Leavenworth or sanctions if I should see something that I wasn't supposed to, and I would talk about it.
UFO Diaries.
Face on Mars, mysterious pictures.
It is in our hands to find out. It is in our hands to look at our destiny right in the face and to take another walk.